The world of wolves stands on the brink of an era shrouded in darkness. After the devastating battle that claimed so many lives, the wolf world has barely begun to heal. But just as the first rays of hope pierce the shadows, a new menace emerges from the very heart of the wolf realm. The ancient powers once thought to be vanquished have returned, not as mere echoes, but as a force that could eclipse even the mightiest of ancients. Aurion, now scarred by loss and burdened by the weight of his decisions, must confront a truth that could unravel everything he holds dear. The chapter begins with a wide, sweeping view of the wolf world, once a place of beauty and balance, now marred by the scars of recent battles. The Central Mountains, where the peaks are perpetually shrouded in a swirling, ominous storm. The skies above are a deep, foreboding gray, with flashes of lightning illuminating the darkened landscape. Aurion stands at the edge of a cliff, looking out over the valley below. His once vibrant fur is now streaked with the signs of age and battle, his eyes hardened by the trials he has endured. The eye of eternity hangs heavy around his neck, its glow dimmed, as if reflecting the weariness in Aurion's soul. As he surveys the land, a familiar presence approaches. Mistwalker, the loyal silver wolf who has been by his side through every trial. Mistwalker's normally confident stride is subdued, his eyes reflecting the same uncertainty that plagues Aurion. "Mistwalker," Aurion says, his voice low and gravelly. "Do you feel it? The air, it's changing." Mistwalker nods, his gaze fixed on the horizon. "The wind carries a scent I haven't smelled in ages. It's ancient, older than the ancients themselves." Aurion closes his eyes, letting the wind rush past him. The reign of shadows is coming. The power we thought we had buried is rising again. That night, Aurion dreams. He finds himself in the heart of the ancient temple, the sacred place where the history and power of the wolf world are etched into the very walls. But something is wrong. The temple is in ruins, the stone cracked and crumbling. The once bright murals depicting the glory of the ancients are faded and distorted, as if the very essence of the place is being drained away. In the center of the temple, Aurion sees a figure, an old wolf, his fur a deep shade of gray, with eyes that glow with an unnatural light. It is an ancient guardian, one of the first wolves to wield the power of the ancients. "Aurion," the guardian speaks, his voice echoing through the chamber like the tolling of a great bell. "The world you know is about to change. The shadows you face are not new. They are the remnants of a time forgotten, a time when the balance of power was not as it is now. You must go to the shadowed grove, where the veil between worlds is thin. There, you will find the answers you seek, and the path you fear." Aurion tries to speak, to ask the guardian what he means, but the dream fades, and he wakes with a start, the guardian's words still echoing in his mind. The journey to the shadowed grove is long and perilous. Aurion and his pack travel through dense forests where the trees twist and turn, their branches reaching out like skeletal fingers. The air is thick with mist, and the ground beneath their paws is damp and uneven, making every step a challenge. As they move deeper into the forest, the light begins to fade, as if the very trees themselves are absorbing it. The temperature drops, and the wolf's breath comes out in white puffs, hanging in the still air. Finally, they reach the heart of the shadowed grove, a place where the trees grow so close together that the sky is completely obscured. The air here is different, charged with an energy that makes the fur on their backs stand on end. In the center of the grove, surrounded by ancient stones covered in moss and lichen, lies a pool of water. Its surface is perfectly still, reflecting the twisted branches above. But there is something unnatural about it, something that makes even the bravest of wolves hesitate. Aurion steps forward, drawn to the pool by a force he can't explain. As he gazes into its depths, the water begins to ripple, and images start to form. Visions of the past, present, and future, all blending together in a chaotic swirl. He sees the rise of the ancients, the battles they fought, and the sacrifices they made to maintain the balance of the wolf world. He sees himself standing against the Riftborn, the pain of loss etched on his face. And then he sees something new. An army of shadows, their eyes glowing with a malevolent light, marching across the land, leaving destruction in their wake. Aurion pulls back, his heart pounding. The vision fades, but the message is clear. The reign of shadows is not just a threat, it is a certainty. And unless he can find a way to stop it, the wolf world will be plunged into darkness forever. Determined to prevent this dark future, Aurion makes a decision. He will awaken the power of the ancients, the force that once protected the wolf world. But to do so, he must first unlock the secrets of the ancient temple, the place where the power of the ancients is said to reside. The journey to the temple is treacherous, taking them through lands ravaged by time and war. The wolves must navigate crumbling cliffs, cross raging rivers, and fend off creatures twisted by the remnants of the rift's power. When they finally reach the temple, they find it as Aurion saw in his dream, crumbling and decayed, its once great walls reduced to rubble. But despite its dilapidated state, the temple still holds power, and Aurion can feel it thrumming beneath the surface. Inside, the temple is dark and cold, the air thick with the scent of dust and age. The walls are covered in inscriptions, ancient symbols that tell the story of the ancients and the battles they fought. Aurion traces his paw along the symbols, feeling a connection to the past. At the center of the temple, they find an altar, its surface etched with the same symbols that cover the walls. Above the altar, suspended in mid-air, is a crystal, a fragment of the Eye of Eternity, the source of the ancients' power. Aurion approaches the altar, feeling the power of the crystal resonate within him. As he reaches out to touch it, the crystal begins to glow, its light filling the chamber. The walls around them start to shift, revealing hidden passages and chambers long forgotten. But as the light grows brighter, Aurion feels a sudden surge of energy, a force so powerful that it threatens to overwhelm him. The crystal shatters, releasing a burst of energy that sends Aurion and his pack flying back. When the light fades, they find themselves in a new chamber, one filled with statues of the ancients, their eyes glowing with the same unnatural light as the guardian in Aurion's dream. The statues begin to move, their stone bodies creaking and groaning as they come to life. The ancients have awakened, and they are not pleased. Aurion and his pack find themselves surrounded by the awakened ancients, their eyes glowing with an eerie light. The atmosphere is tense, the air thick with the weight of ancient power and unspoken judgment. The leader of the ancients steps forward, a massive wolf with fur as white as snow and eyes that pierce through the darkness. Aurion, the leader's voice echoes through the chamber, deep and resonant. "You have awakened us from our slumber. What is it that you seek?" Aurion, though filled with awe, stands tall and meets the leader's gaze. "I seek the power of the ancients to stop the reign of shadows. The wolf world is in peril, and without your guidance, it will fall into darkness." The leader of the ancients narrows his eyes, studying Aurion closely. "The power you seek is not given lightly. It must be earned. You will face the trial of the ancients, a test of your strength, wisdom, and spirit. Only if you succeed will you be granted the power to save your world." The trial begins, and Aurion is tested in ways he never imagined. He must navigate a labyrinth filled with traps and illusions designed to test his resolve. He faces off against spectral wolves, each one representing a different aspect of his past, his fears, his failures, and the losses that have haunted him. But the final test is the hardest. Aurion is brought to a chamber filled with mirrors, each one reflecting a different version of himself. In these reflections, he sees the paths he could have taken, the choices that could have led to a different outcome. The weight of his decisions presses down on him, but he knows that he cannot falter. With a deep breath, Aurion confronts his reflections, acknowledging the mistakes he has made and the pain he has endured. He emerges from the chamber, not unscathed, but stronger, his resolve hardened by the trials he has faced. The leader of the ancients nods in approval. "You have passed the trial, Aurion. The power of the ancients is yours. But be warned, this power comes with a great cost. Use it wisely, or it may consume you." Aurion bows his head in gratitude. I will not fail you, or the wolf world. As the chapter draws to a close, Aurion, standing at the entrance of the temple, the newly gained power of the ancients coursing through him. The sky above is still dark, but there is a glimmer of light on the horizon, a sign that hope is not yet lost. The reign of shadows is just beginning, Aurion's voice echoes, filled with determination. But with the power of the ancients, we will stand against it. The wolf world will not fall, not while I still draw breath. If you've been captivated by Aurion's journey and the epic battles that lie ahead, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Black X Wolf Entertainment. The story is far from over, and the greatest challenges are yet to come. Join us next time as Aurion faces the ultimate test in Chapter 8, The Rise of the Shadow King. Will the light of the ancients be enough to fend off the encroaching darkness? Don't miss it!